Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Adams coming from the Adams Art House. I am here to give you your lesson today. We are going to be creating an abstract self-portrait based on the artist Paul Klee. I hope you had a chance to review the artwork and watch the Maddie and Dada video because I love those. Those are great. We are going to be creating something with both geometric, like circles, triangles, squares, shapes like that, or organic shapes you can use, shapes that come from nature. So maybe think of a shape of a leaf or a fish or like a blobby shape like a cloud. Those are your organic shapes. I hope you have fun with this lesson. I'd like to give a little shout out to my hunt hounds out there. Know that I miss you and I love you so much. I cannot wait to see you. If you are not from Hunt, this lesson's for you as well. I know that your teachers are really missing you right now as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll step inside. Remember, this is a mixed media project. Mixed media just means you're using more than one art supply. So if you have crayons, color pencils, markers, paints, whatever you have at home, when you use two things, you're using mixed media. Mixed media, remember, is more than one art supply. This is also something you can build out of colored paper. It's something you can grab the recycled things that you have in your house. Anything that you'd like that you'd put into this art project. We are going to create an abstract self-portrait. So that means it doesn't really have to look like you. It can look really, really silly. It can look crazy, have crazy colors. Whatever you want to do with this is fine. It does not have to look exactly what I'm going to show you today. I hope you all have a great week, and we hope to see you back very, very soon. Bye, boys and girls. Okay, so we're ready for our mixed media self-portrait. Remember, this is abstract. If you want to do this on colorful paper, you can. If you'd like white paper, we're doing mixed media. So if you have any crayons or markers, some of you might have oil pastels. Oil pastels are great to use with watercolor because water and wax do not mix. So if you have an area you want to stay a color, you can also do the same thing with crayons as well. But if you don't have any of these supplies, just use what you've got. So mixed media, we're using more than one. We also talked about geometric and organic shapes. So remember, it doesn't have to look exactly like what it looks like when you look in a mirror. So when I want to draw my face, I always like to start with just the regular shape and then just make some changes from there. If you want to make your head a square geometric shape, that is fine, or a triangle or a heart, whatever shape you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw a letter U, and I'm going to have a neck. Since Paul Klee loved squares, I'm going to make my body a little bit more square looking down here. Kind of reminds me of Minecraft for all you Minecraft lovers out there. I'm going to not worry so much about the real details. I'm going to kind of put in some big lips since I'm doing myself. Maybe my eyes, I can do them kind of like Paul Klee's cat with those big leafy organic shapes. And maybe I can just do some crazy colors. Miss Adams has some glasses, so I'll throw these on. So of course, remember, you're doing yourself. It doesn't have to look realistic. It could look abstract and just give it some crazy colors. You can put a hat on your head. You can make you look however you'd like. So I've got a basic part here, and if there's any parts that I wanted to fix, I could go back and erase and fix those. Like maybe I don't want to see that line right there. So that's why I always start in pencil first. So I'm going to have this as my abstract portrait. It's a little more realistic looking, although Miss Adams does not exactly look like this. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start adding some crazy colors. So I think I'm going to actually be tracing with some oil pastels. Remember, this is optional. You could also use something like crayon if you're doing a resist. You can, I know I have some Lego lovers out there. It might be nice to see some really cool Lego inspired artwork as well. Ooh, maybe I'll do some orange on the face. because orange and blue are colors that look really good right next to each other, but it's not something that looks good when you mix it because they're opposite on the color wheel. So that looks good. I like that color. Maybe I'll make my glasses a little bit darker since my glasses are darker. Remember, boys and girls, you can do whatever you want with this lesson. It's pretty fun when you're not so worried about it looking just like you. Maybe I'll give me some big eyelashes. Abstract art is always fun. Do some red lips. Reminds me of a heart. Now what I outline with does not have to be the color that I go back and paint inside. And you know what? I noticed on that video, when we looked at the video, he had lots of squares around his room. So I think I'm gonna add in some different types of squares or geometric shapes. Even if you wanna switch to something else like triangles, that would be fine too. I'm gonna just add in some different places. I could even make that nose show up. Oh, I'm gonna do some eyes. Put in some lines over here. I noticed that he liked things to be kind of balanced. He talked about music and how the melody would create a rhythm, sometimes even a pattern I noticed in the Maddie and Dada video. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna add in, I think I kind of like balancing out some different colors. Maybe I see some green over there. I might add some green down here in the shirt. Okay, I think that looks pretty abstract. Got my pupils. Okay, that looks fantastic. Now you can take your time with this lesson. It does not have to take a lot of time, especially with abstract. Now, if I were working on something more realistic, I would probably want to take my time and make it look just like me. I'm going to grab my water. Anytime I use paint, I need some different size paint brushes if I have them. Otherwise, what you have is fine. I always cover my table with a mat so I'm not staining the kitchen table. I always have some paper towels. And with watercolor, I've taught my kids that you're gonna add some water just to get those paints ready. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because it starts melting down the paint. And the more you kind of melt down that paint, the brighter your colors are actually gonna be. Now this is just some Crayola paint that I'm using here. Nothing too expensive. Regular paint brushes. Anytime I have too much water, I blot it or dab it on my paper towel. And then I can just start painting away with whatever colors I like. Maybe I want to use some of this color right here. I'm going to push up my sleeves though so I don't get any paint on my clothes. And then I'm just going to follow the line right by the edge. You'll notice that that oil pastel and even the crayons kind of help like a wall pushing those paints back. Maybe I'll switch over to a different color as I come down here. You can mix colors as well. Remember, if you're working with colors that are close together, like blues and purples, those mix really well, or blues and reds are okay, because I know that blue and red makes purple. So those are colors that, ooh, you can even see that purple color in there. Maybe I'll use some of that over here. So you can mix some colors. But if they're colors that are like warm and cool, like blues and oranges, those usually will make brown. If you're trying to make a brown, that's how you would do it. If I want my color darker, I might actually hit the paint a little bit more, and then my color is going to be a lot darker or brighter on there. If I want my color lighter, I'm going to use mainly water, a little bit of that color, and then you'll see that my paint is actually lighter in that area. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going and I'm going to speed up this next part of the video. Ooh, I like that green in there. Balances out the outside. I hope you've enjoyed making your Paul Klee inspired self-portrait. Did you choose to make yours with more of a realistic shape, or did you choose a square or a circle or geometric shapes that you might see from nature? I hope you enjoyed this, boys and girls, because I sure did. I love how colorful Paul Klee's work, and I hope that I see some great artwork uploaded to your Google Classroom from you. Remember to take a photo so that you can upload when you're turning in your assignments. Have a great day.